Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 10th. Almost forgot, but we are just going to jump right in here, Gemini. You have this conflict card. It says you might find yourself having personal clashes. If you're experiencing competition, see it as a chance to up your game. You do have the Ten of Wands as well. The Ten of Wands isn't really a conflict, although, to me it's a harvest. I actually personally like the Ten of Wands because he's carrying, this is something he planted those wands, and he is about to reach his home in the background here, which represents, he's about to release his burden, but he's also about to have a harvest. So it's kind of like a good card, really, Gemini, in a card of having, kind of getting something that you want or desire, something you've been working towards having for a long time. The other thing is that, again, I would be careful who you surround yourself with. It is popping into my head here that some of you, it's like you're finding more success, and there just might be people who don't like it, right? And, I always say we have to be careful that we surround ourselves with people who actually want us to be successful, because most people, and again, I don't necessarily think everybody does this to be a bad person, but a lot of people, when you start to become successful, they try to do things to keep you stuck because by being successful, you are basically reflecting to them their own lack of success, right? And that's popping into my head. For some of you, I am getting that this conflict could be coming from a partner. So if you are with a person, that could be where the conflict is popping in. And I would legitimately just call it out. Literally, if you have a partner, a person that you love that you don't want to leave, right? Then what I would say here is I would call the person out if you are becoming successful and maybe they have some insecurities, because I think it'll make them pull their head out of their ass, for lack of a better term, right? And they might just be like, oh yeah, I'm being a jerk. So, again, and I think it's critically important now that we call things out immediately because, based off the astrology, I would just say, like, putting everything together, I think that there's too much of a danger of something turning into, an atomic bomb in a relationship, basically. Something very tiny turning into this big, huge deal. So I think we need to be very careful, especially moving forward. We need to be very communicative, and we need to be very, respectful of our partners just in the future. So even if you don't have love, if you're finding love in the future, it's like you need to speak about things right away because, and not allow them to get out of control. Again, that's how you're going to have a successful relationship. So if you want to have a successful relationship, that's what I would do. You have the Three Cups here. There is like some sort of celebration coming in for you, I feel. Really good reading. Even, again, if you want love, this middle row looks amazing. If you have love, this looks amazing, minus this little issue here. But again, these little happy little accidents, right? They can be fixed very easily. You just have to communicate. And maybe it's a little bit scary or uncomfortable to communicate. But again, there's no other option. So, that's what I would be doing if you are having these issues. But again, even if you don't want love, this could just be amazing for people in general. It could just say that maybe people are supporting you, or you're finding a community of people who support your success, right? And finding that could lead to a lot of success. You go to the Six of Cups, which is like a turnaround. Like, to me, outside of love, this right here is saying not only are you finding people who support you, but your higher self is supporting you as well. This is your higher self angel. I always say that the Two of Cups to me can represent you communicating with your higher self. And then the Six of Cups would be a gift from the universe. I always say that the Six of Cups kind of, to me, can represent a time where we have been stuck, Eight of Swords, and it can represent a turnaround. It basically says that the obstacles that have been blocking us are being removed. And I definitely feel that energy here for you with that Six of Cups energy. But let's see what's going on here. With the Ten of Wands, you have this Trumpet card. This deck I'm using this Lenormand deck, and it has some cards that are not Lenormand cards in it. And this card says victory, resurrection, awakening, decisiveness, inner calling, and forgiveness. Some of you, again, could be forgiving a person for causing this conflict, if that's what's going on here. For a very tiny percentage of you, maybe you cause this conflict, and maybe your person is forgiving you. It doesn't matter. It does not look like a big deal to me. It looks like something that is being corrected. I also feel like something is feeling more in alignment to me, but it's like your personal direction in life. We literally see it here going to the Chariot. You do have the Ten of Swords here, but This last row represents the good stuff. So no matter what shows up there, it's going to be good no matter what. And it looks to me like you could be receiving a blessing in disguise, or it's almost like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say this, Gemini, but well, other than, I think some of you, maybe you thought you were going to do something with your life and you're actually completely moving in a different direction. Some of you I'm getting are literally moving in a different direction. You literally could be moving somewhere you never thought you would live in a million years. That might only be for some of you. And it's like this new direction, I feel like is going to be very successful for you. But it's like something. It's not that you didn't see it coming. This, you know what this is? This is more like something falling into place. Years ago, my brother and I lived in Seattle. And we just went out there to visit. We had no intentions of living in Seattle. We came out, we visited, and then we ended up moving literally within a few months to Seattle because we loved it that much, right, at the time. And so, it kind of strikes me as something like that, where it's like everything just falls into place. We flew back out here, and my brother got a job right away while he got offered a job in the interview when we flew out here for the second time to find a place and everything just kind of lined up, right? And I kind of see that happening here for whatever reason. It's like things are just kind of lining up for you, and feels really good. Love it. But it could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be a move. I was just using that as an example. It could be in love, could be in business, whatever. With the Three of Cups, you have the Sun. Best card in the deck, just like the Tarot. This is a card of a victory, happiness, good things coming in for you, joy, abundance, all those things. So I feel there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. I also feel, this is a card of attention as well. It can represent like fame and fortune. And you have that Three of Cups. So if you're doing anything to get attention from other people, then really good card for sure. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Star. Are you kidding? I say the sun and the star together is fame and fortune. And, in the Lenormand, it is pretty much the same, can represent fame and fortune. So I feel like there's a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you here. I also feel there could be like some sort of victory coming in with this card or some sort of recognition. I also like this right here, like so many cards of victory, 2 cards plus the Chariot. Going this way as well, I kind of feel like a lot of progress. The Chariot is a card of progress. The Star card in the Lenormand can represent like progress towards your goals, wishes, dreams, all that other stuff. So Gemini, I really like this. This looks very, very good going in that direction. I feel like you should be very happy. I also feel like some of you are kind of like, it's almost like you're developing a reputation, so, which could be a good thing. You're developing a positive reputation, like in work or whatever, and it's going to benefit you. You have this all work and no play card. It says, give your body and mind more time to recuperate, and you'll be much more effective. Self-care keeps you on top of your game. So definitely self-care, very important at this time. You have the Four of Swords, the Lovers, and the Queen of Wands. Again, if you want love, I feel like you are very attractive at this time. I want to leave it here because, you have the Lovers, Two of Cups, the Ten of Swords. Some of you could have had a difficult ending in love, but I feel like you're kind of meeting someone like new, or you're getting into a new situation, or you're discovering like a blessing. Again, he's making a symbol with his hands right here, and it's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making, and it represents a blessing or receiving a blessing. So I kind of feel some of you, after a difficult period of time in love, you are receiving a blessing in love. So maybe love hasn't been going your way, or maybe you have been experiencing the same story. You have that Web of Creations card with a spider on it, and spiders to me weave their own story. They tell their own tale, they spin their own web. So I feel for a lot of you that there's a change in your love story if you want love, and again, even if you do or you don't, I feel like there's just a change in your story of your life, and it seems to me like you're going more in the right direction. You're much more in alignment is kind of what I'm getting from this reading. You have the Lover, so clearly it could be love, but it also could just be your energy. When you're basically showing up as yourself here, which puts you in a position of power and strength, really allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I just see like a lot of success coming in for you with this energy. You also have the Four of Swords, another card of blessings. There's a person in the stained glass window here who is receiving blessings from another person. So I feel for a lot of you that there are clearly, this reading is talking about kind of like blessings coming in for you. But I do feel it's like there's been a little bit of a blessing, like a blessing in disguise going on here or something. Because, it's like you're kind of like overcoming some things. With the Four of Swords, you have the mice card. A lot of people have had this card this month. Mercury retrograde, things might take a little bit longer to accomplish things, might be a little bit slow. The mice can also feel like you're kind of Ten of Wands. It's like a card, not really of burdens, but it's like a card of slow progress. Mice they chew through walls very slowly. So, for some of you, it's like you've been trying to overcome some sort of like little obstacle in your life. That's what I feel intuitively here. And I feel like you're finally kind of like breaking through the barrier or breaking through some sort of barrier. With the Lovers, you have this Tunnel card. This deck has some cards, I don't know if I said this, that are not Lenormand cards. It says Hiding Passage, Journey, Lost Refuge, Exploring the Subconscious, Dark Times. I feel like you're getting out of the dark times and you're entering into the light here. But really, I feel the Chariot is saying you're choosing your own light. You're choosing your own direction in life. And I also feel it's really important for you right now, Gemini, to not look for approval. I think the only person who can approve of your decisions is you. So I feel like you need to make up your own mind and not like what other people tell you to do. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Anchor. The Anchor is a card of stability, and it's also a card of safety. It's like, ships, they put down their anchor to protect themselves. So for a lot of you, I feel like you are kind of creating a lot more stability in your life. I also feel like, again, you could be setting down your anchor in a new location. I get moving here, and I don't think I get moving for you all that often, but if you're moving, you could be, again, putting your anchor down somewhere else, and it's like much more safe, secure. Next, for what you need to hear right now, you have this Rushing In Now card. It says, ready, rapid, fleeting urgency. The time to act is now. Yes, Chariot. So again, if you're thinking about doing something with the Chariot, I would just do it. The Chariot, sometimes I think we can worry whether or not we're ready for something or whether or not we actually can do something that we have set out to do. But the Chariot just says, where there's a will, there's a way. Those two Sphinxes here, they represent a mystery, so he has no clue where he's going. He doesn't really know what direction he's going in life or whatever. He's just trusting that the universe is going to guide him. They're actually not even attached to the Chariot, those two Sphinxes, so it kind of represents the fact that the universe is guiding him. He's trusting that the universe or God has taken the wheel, right? And you have the Two of Cups right here, and as I always say, that the Two of Cups can be you and your higher self. So I kind of feel like you're being more guided by your own inner light or, by your intuitive self here, which is great. Chariot does say where there's a will, there's a way. So if you want something bad enough, I feel like you will make it happen. Two of Cups is also a perfect match. So I do feel there's like a perfect match coming in for you here if you want love. And, nothing really, you basically have every sign here. So could be, Sagittarius stands out to me, fire in general, but take it how it resonates, could be any sign. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish or wish fulfillment. I do feel that there is some sort of wish fulfillment coming in for you here. I feel like you've been doing the right things, and I also I kind of feel like you're getting everything you want, but like in just very different ways. I think that's what you're realizing about life as well, Gemini, is that you've set out to kind of accomplish goals or whatever in a certain way. But it's almost like you're realizing that it doesn't work like that. We always, accomplish the things that we want in very, very different ways than we probably originally thought we would. And I kind of get that energy here. With the Chariot, you have the Snake again. With the Snake and the Mice, I would definitely be careful of anyone, who puts up illusions, anyone who seems sneaky or tricky type of energy. I would definitely be careful of that. There can obviously be a lot of temptation with the Snake card. So it's like you could meet a person, or maybe a person who is very tempting. But again, temptation is not enough. If this person, you might be tempted, but if they're sneaky or tricky, then you could also get hurt. So I would definitely be careful with these two cards coming up next to each other for sure. This card can kind of represent a little bit of a setback as well. So, I would be careful here. It's like, it seems to me like you're on the right path. So I wouldn't get off the path. With the Two of Cups, you have the Snowflake card again, not a Lenormand card, but it says different, unique, fragile, clarity, individuality and complexity. So I feel like you could be attracting a person who is like a snowflake, a special little snowflake here, someone who's very unique and different. I also feel like I kind of feel like you could be entering, I do feel like in work or business, something very complex. That card says complexity on it. And I do feel like for some of you in work or business, you could be doing something that is very complex, has a lot of moving parts, but that could be the thing that separates you from the competition. With the Nine of Cups, you have the House. Again, I was getting something about moving or traveling or, whatever. It's like maybe you travel somewhere and then move there or something like that. Popped into my head here, Gemini, so take it how it resonates. But, I feel that for some of you. It's also a card of family, so you could be meeting a person, if you're looking for love, who you have a family with or something like that. At the end here for the good stuff, doesn't matter what shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this Web of Creation card. It says, be aware of what you're weaving in your life to create better experiences. Again, I feel like you're changing your story. I think it's super important when we get like spider cards that we pay attention to our words as well. You have the Ten of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Temperance card. Like I said, I feel like there's some sort of blessing in disguise, but I feel like you're finally seeing the blessing that's been in disguise. As in, maybe it's been rough, or maybe you've been having some challenges or whatever, and it's like you're finally seeing the blessings that you are going to receive here. So that's kind of what I get with the Ten of Swords, is that you're finally kind of seeing like why you had to go through what you went through, or it's almost like you're getting something much better than you thought you would. With the Six of Cups, again, if you want love, could be attracting a soulmate. I also feel this could be a turnaround. Again, blessing in disguise. Six of Cups could be like obstacles being removed from your path, and you could be finding success doing something that you've wanted to do for a long time. For some of you, I'm getting that there could be success for you in doing something a different way. I don't really have a good example for you, Gemini. I see a lot of this energy right now where it's like, maybe you set out to have a career in whatever, to be like a doctor or something like that, but maybe it just didn't work out. But maybe you start a YouTube channel talking about, I don't know, doctor stuff or something like that. I don't know. Right? It's like, I feel like what I'm trying to spit out here is I feel like it's almost like you're doing something that is like related to what you originally wanted to do, just in a different way. And again, if that makes sense to you, then I feel there are some good opportunities coming in for you. You have the Temperance card. I feel like you just feel, it's kind of weird, the feeling I get here from on the Temperance card. I just feel like you feel more in control, which it's not necessarily a card of control, but in a way, you could say that the Temperance angel understands that he can turn anything around. He can turn a negative into a positive. He can also turn a positive into a negative, right? And which, obviously don't do that, but he can if he wants to. So I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like, I feel like you're seeing your power of like what you can create, and this is giving you this sense of control, or being able to control your destiny. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Whip. This is a card of repeating something over and over and over again and expecting a different result, basically the definition of insanity. But really, it's a card of punishing yourself. And again, it is coming up in the good stuff. So again, I feel like you are ending a cycle of, beating yourself up over things that you did in the past, or, things that didn't work out, even if it wasn't within your control or whatever. With the Six of Cups, you have this Lilies card. It says wisdom on it, and I feel for a lot of you, I almost feel like there's some sort of gift coming in for you. It's like someone could be bringing you flowers, or something along those lines. With the Temperance card, you have the Moon. The Moon is a card of your intuition, just like the Moon in the tarot. The Moon in the Lenormand, to me, has a little bit extra emphasis on needing to bring something down to earth, like some sort of dream. So I feel like you're, again, taking control of your dreams, things that you want to manifest, or, things that you want to be, do, or have in life. And you're really, I feel like you're really taking the actions that make things happen, which is great. Very good. But let's see here. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this Merchant card. If you have a business, I feel like business could be booming, is what I'm getting here, Gemini. If you have things that you want to sell, I feel like you could sell things very quickly. I am getting something like, if you're trying to sell a house, I feel like it'll sell very quickly. If you're trying to sell a car, or, something, just trying to sell something, I feel like that, it's going to happen very quickly, which is nice. Could give you like a little bit of a boost, or could be the thing that really sets you free. Or allows you to do something that you want to do. Again, if you want to move, but you don't think you have the money, same thing. I think that it's like maybe you have some things that you could sell that would actually provide more than enough. You have this Soldier card. This card are like following a plan. And so for some of you, I feel like you are like following some sort of plan here. It's much more clear, which I think I said at the beginning of the reading with the Chariot, kind of like that top row there. It's like maybe your path is much more clear to you as well. Next, you have this Melancholy card. Everybody's had this card, or, there's also this like Sorrow card in this deck, and I look at them as very similar. I feel like people are bored. I think people need to get out of the house, Gemini, and go, meet some new people, go have fun, do something you've never done before, right? You have the Sweetheart card. Look at this. Definitely could be attracting love, or a sweetheart. Pretty good love reading if you want love. And finally, you have this surprise card. There's definitely a surprise coming in for you. He's like dragging up a bucket of money, or I don't know, it's like something right here, right? So I kind of feel like there is a surprise gift or something coming in for you, and I think it's going to be very fulfilling. It's kind of interesting as well because I think it just feels to me like your life is becoming much more busy, like in a good way, and also much more social. So if you have been feeling like closed off or like you haven't been social for a long time, it's like that's turning around now. That could be a change. And I also feel like you're seeing the benefits of being social with the right people as well. It's like you could be increasing your finances by being around positive people. You could be finding love by whatever it is you want. I think you're seeing the benefits of making sure to surround yourself with the right people. And that's just gonna, I kind of feel like that's something that is gonna last for a long time. So love it. But looks really good here, Gemini. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.